What's happening in the world? My name is Reagan Parrington. Today is July 26, 2021, and these are your past week's headlines. Well, now that the Delta variant is ravaging the world, Indonesia is now the epicenter of the pandemic. In fact, projections here in the US put COVID cases at around 60,000 a day and 850 deaths a day by mid-October. Time for a little thinning out of the population, huh? Low-key, the jet stream is officially broken. Before we go on, I want to clear some science with you guys and show you a quick picture here from Sam Carana. Thank you so much. You can see there's no consistency to it anymore. It's broken, mangled, fractured. That's why we have extreme weather events, whether you're in the ridge or the trough and you're stuck there, or at least the jet stream is stuck there. In layman's terms, the conveyor belt which drives our weather is broken and mangled. This is a good sum up from the Boston Globe. Welcome to the climate apocalypse. It will get worse. And actually, I wanted to take this moment to clarify that when I say climate change and global warming, it's a catch-all phrase for the entire degradation of our ecology. I mean biodiversity loss, the melting of the Arctic, it's all sort of bundled in with these words. So when I say these things, just know that I'm not intending to leave out all the other problems that are occurring. But back to the news. United States and its allies accused China on Monday of cyberspace attacks and criminal activity, including a massive hack of Microsoft's email servers, but then in return, China accused the US of hacking as well, because that's how it goes. Tit for tat. Hey. Oh, but we can be glad to know that Angela Merkel vows a faster battle against climate change. Shut up, boomer. Bam! Bam! You had the past 50 years, okay?
Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about.
Luckily for us millennials, rent prices are up more than 7.5% across the nation, even though wages have been stagnant for several decades. Certain big cities on the coast are slightly lower, though it's still insanely expensive to live in historical standards. Rents in Memphis, Tennessee are up 23% in the past decade. Oh, but luckily we can go back to Canada and Mexico on August 21st despite a raging pandemic. And I want to be clear here, we lost the 20-year war in Afghanistan and Iraq and wasted trillions of dollars. It occupied most of my adult life and it accomplished absolutely nothing. Luckily though, Jeff Bezos went to space in a giant dong. I mean, how could we as a capitalist society just ignore this magnificent news, even though 55 people were shot and 7 people died in Chicago, including 2 teenagers? Doesn't sound like society in decay at all to me. I mean, here's a good one. In fact, 60% of millennials making 6 figures feel they live paycheck to paycheck. Now to the weather. 800,000 people were evacuated by torrential rains in Mumbai. There was a Zhengzhou, a city in China, flooded. It was worse in its history there. And in China's Henan province,
the flooding has inundated much of the city and the surrounding area. Henan is a major logistics hub in central China and has a population of around 100 million. Since the weekend, millions of lives there have been upended.
Cyclone Infa already crashed into Shanghai on the East Coast. Millions of people displaced here, there. There are so many weather events, and the flooding in the city of Arvin in Turkey, more landslides in India, and a massive 6.7 earthquake in Panama. I mean, there are so many weather events, and like I clarified earlier from the jet stream, I almost doubt my ability to cover them all, guys, but I'm doing my best here. It feels like everywhere I turn, every day, there's an extreme weather event, and I can't keep track of them all, honestly. And I even forgot to mention that New York got smoked out.
Look or try to look out in Manhattan right now. The air quality is so terrible, making it really hard for people to breathe. Smoke from all those wildfires burning across the West is now drifting into the area. Those fires are still burning too, many of them with zero containment.
So let's take a breather, and I'll take a moment to admire this photoshopped picture of Guy McPherson next to a time traveler. Okay, look, the infrastructure bill that's been ping-ponging back and forth in Congress and on our headlines doesn't even have details. It doesn't even have an outline. They can't even agree on the fact that we all need to upgrade our roads and critical infrastructure. That's how dysfunctional, chaotic, and broken our Congress is. Right now, it's climate not conflict, although we're leading to that, that's causing the most problems. For instance, Madagascar's famine is the first in modern history to be solely caused by global warming. Over 400,000 people are headed for famine and eating cactus leaves and bugs right now. And that number is expected to double by October. French President Macron has been spied on his phone by Moroccans, possibly. Luckily, there's always money to solve our problems, right? Some major drug companies, including McKesson and so forth, are paying out $26 billion for the opioid deaths they caused in the past 2 decades, and are released from any future blame on the problem, because money solves everything, I guess, right? Even death and addiction. There was a massive internet outage with companies like FedEx, McDonald's, Delta, Charles Schwab, and others went down on Thursday. It was probably the Chinese. Air rage is on the rise.
This cell phone video capturing a heated argument between
Yes, in fact, there was an American Airlines passenger who screamed for 10 minutes straight because she refused to wear a mask and was escorted off the plane. I would be remiss to do this report without mentioning advice from Alabama's governor. I mean, just like your grandmother saying you can't fix stupid.
This emotional plea you just gave us, what is it going to take to get people to get shots in arms?
I don't know, you tell me.
Tell me.
Folks supposed to have common sense. But it's time to start blaming the unvaccinated folks, not the regular folks. It's the unvaccinated folks that are letting us down.
But as a leader of the state, don't you think it's your responsibility to try and help get this situation under control?
I've done all I know how to do. I can encourage you to do something, but I can't make you take care of yourself.
And on a happy note, wild cockatoos in Australia have learned to open trash cans and taught their friends how to do it as well. This is called socially learned behavior, and us humans are proficient at it. I'm not depressed, I'm just a doomer. Okay, that's been your weekly update for July 26, 2021. My name is Reagan again, and if you don't mind, please hitting the thumbs up button, go to my Patreon, consider a few dollars a month. It helps keep this project going and keeps you well informed of the worldly events happening around your dome. Thanks again, and I'll catch up with you next week. See ya.